Welcome to Greenable Woodbridge. I am your host, Carolyn Ehrlich. Today we are talking about the first Energy Star building that was financed by the township itself. And here to explain to us everything that's in it that is greenable is Alkesh Taylor, who is the Director of Engineering, I got that right?
That's correct.
At Thriven Design.
That's correct.
So tell us a little bit about what your contract was for and
Sure.
a little bit about yourself and your background and your company.
Sure. Well, thank you very much, Caroline, for inviting me here to talk about this exciting project called Green Oaks here in Fords, New Jersey. We're just excited to be part of your development that has taken advantage of this wonderful relationship between yourself and the WIC developers, right, to create the first ever Energy Star building that is developed in this township. And I think that's exciting to see just how forward-thinking you are and how much of a leadership role you've taken in developing these types of energy efficiency buildings in your community. The firm Thriven Design is an award-winning firm. We specialize in architecture, engineering, interior design, and planning. We're focused on creating places where people thrive. That is something that's a mission-driven focus that the firm has for quite a while. And the firm has developed well over 65,000 residential units in our projects over the years, and growing, obviously. The primary, primary focus for the firm is creating places where people thrive. As the Director of Engineering and Asset Preservation at the firm, my primary direct responsibilities are to ensure that not only do we provide engineering services that meet the requirements of the projects, but we also direct the energy consulting aspect of the firm as well. So we work in collaboration with our architects, in-house engineers, and in-house energy consultants, all collaboratively working to ensure that the project meets all of the program requirements to meet the energy efficiency standards for those programs, as well as to ensure that we do it in a cost-effective way, so that we're talking to each other to ensure that we're meeting all of the program requirements without added cost to the project.
And you've done a great job with that, and
Yes.
I know you have developed a fantastic partnership with WIC Development.
Absolutely.
And all the people who have been working here and building this building. So let me just take a minute and talk about what it is that we're building.
Sure.
So the mayor has, he gets upset by some of the living conditions of our seniors who are living in the apartments that are run by the Housing Authority. No offense to the Housing Authority, but they don't have the funding. It's HUD funding. They don't have the funding to upgrade or move the residents into a better place. And right next door to us is Olson Tower. And it reminds me of my dorm room in 1970 with the small room with the concrete walls and absolutely no living space whatsoever. And that's kind of what it is, the concrete walls and the limited space, and it doesn't feel, the air isn't moving, it's just stuffy. And so the mayor said, let's give them a good place to live.
Sure.
There are 75 apartments there, so this building right next door is a replacement. And we've already worked with WIC. They worked in downtown Woodbridge to find a new home for our seniors there. And boy, are they happy with the move and their new location. And WIC is happy because they put market rate housing there. And
Sure.
the residents love it there.
And that's the Red Oak Apartments,
The
right?
Red Oak,
Red Oaks,
right.
yep,
Yes,
absolutely.
thank
That
you.
also was a wonderful project that WIC worked on along with the Housing Authority to develop market rate housing that also incorporated many of these energy efficiency improvements in the project. Unfortunately, we didn't pursue the certifications for that project, but we did incorporate all of the energy efficiencies into those projects as well.
And this time I'm glad you took that extra step.
Yes.
Because when we have that plaque on the front of this building that says Energy Star, that beautiful plaque,
Yes.
it will be kudos to all of you who worked on this project.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about some of the components. Hey, let's start, first of all, before we get all into the Energy Star components, the way this was built is also very unique.
Absolutely.
With Blueprint Robotics, how that worked. If you could just tell us, I know that wasn't really your area, but if you could tell us a little bit about it.
And again, being part of the engineering, we were aware of the Blueprint Robotics construction. That's considered a panelized construction. What's unique about that construction is that they fabricate most of the exterior panels, exterior walls, all fabricated in a warehouse. That's a controlled warehouse that's conditioned. It's much better for the fabrication of those panelized modules to come to the site. They're built in a much tighter tolerance. And because they're built in those tighter tolerances, it gives us the ability to create a much more airtight envelope. And because they're constructed in the warehouse, it actually allows us to make the construction process slightly efficient and less timely, more timely, in the sense that they can construct those and it doesn't have any impact on what's going on with the weather, so they can construct those and then ship them to the site, and then we field fabricate and erect those, like almost like a Lego set. So you just put it all together and you just it goes right up, and it's really exciting to see it. Initially, it doesn't seem like much is going on, and then next thing you know, the project is exactly.
And anybody who's been driving up and down New Brunswick Avenue could see the cranes just lifting the walls and then putting them in. It has been fascinating to watch it being built, and the company, the Blueprint Robotics, I understand has been an amazing partner.
They have been excellent, and providing all their services and just working with all of us, the development, the construction team. They've been amazing putting the work together. So very proud of everybody's team, the entire team's effort on that.
Okay, so let's talk about the energy efficiency a little bit. Where would you like to start?
Well, one of the other unique aspects of this particular building that I want to highlight and focus on is the HVAC system. When New Jersey developed or adopted the 2021 construction codes, many of the residential units were required to now have energy recovery units, ERVs that are called. And the primary function of the energy recovery unit is to recover the energy that's being lost through exhaust air that comes out of your bathrooms, that comes out of your kitchens. You need that exhaust anyway, but now you use an ERV in place before it goes out of the building to recover some of that energy. That's brilliant, right? So the fact that they've now adopted that code requires us to add another piece of equipment yet into this apartment. And we were talking about how small it was already. So now if we added another piece of equipment, it would take up space and potentially impact the size of the building. We were able to find a unit called APACA. They fabricated these units that have an built-in ERV. So it's a HVAC unit that breathes through the wall. It has the condensing unit right inside the unit itself. Everything's packaged right into it, so there's no refrigerant lines that have to run to the outdoors. It also has a built-in ERV, so it's able to recover the energy right at that unit and then deliver that right back into the apartment. So it is an excellent piece of equipment that I think will offer long-term energy savings to the residents who use that.
And each apartment has their own
apartment has their own unit, so they can maintain and manage their own comfort level, and they can adjust the temperature within the unit to meet their individual requirements.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, fantastic.
And the windows, the walls.
Yes, absolutely.
The envelope, I guess, is the word I'm looking for.
I'm sorry?
The envelope, I
Oh,
guess.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
All
So the building envelope, again, we took advantage of a high efficiency envelope because we had to meet the Energy Star requirements. So the envelope that we designed exceeds the current code requirements. So we've taken into account the high efficiency, high performance windows. We've have much more insulated walls. We've much more insulated roof values as well as insulated floors. So all of these components improve the energy efficiency of the building. But I wanted to speak a little bit about the air tightness as well, because primarily when we talk about buildings and energy efficiency, we have to first make it an airtight building. So when we have a panelized construction like this that comes into the field and they fabricate it and they air seal it, that's the first thing that we want to do, is reduce the amount of air that's actually unwanted air that's coming into the building. So that's the first step. Then we insulate it, and we've insulated these buildings beyond the code. And then after we do all of that, then we put in a high efficiency HVAC system. We put in LED lights in the building, and we put in low flow fixtures that are water sense labeled. So all these components, when they add together, they have a high efficiency rating for the building.
That is fantastic.
Yes, yes.
Very, very nice. And so all of these things not only make it energy efficient, but they make it what you would call a healthy living space?
Absolutely. It's as part of the programs that we were pursuing with DOE Zero Energy. When DOE is the Department of Energy, they have a Zero Energy Ready Homes program, which we're pursuing as well, along with the Energy Star multifamily new construction. So as part of those certifications, we're also going to meet the Indoor Air Plus requirements for the project as well. What makes this building healthy is the fact that we've now controlled the amount of infiltration into the building. The ERV controls the amount of contaminants that come in from the outdoor air because it filters that. The design team has taken advantage of using best practices, low VOC or no VOC components, building components in the building, so there's less off-gassing, and so it's a much healthier building environment in the building.
That's fantastic. And for seniors,
Yes.
what could be better?
Absolutely.
We want them to be living in a healthy space.
Yes, absolutely.
And this it is.
Yes.
So as you finished all the construction and everything, you had to prove to Energy Star
Yes.
that you did what they did. Some of the tests that you had to do are very interesting.
Absolutely.
You want to talk about them?
Yeah, for sure. The Energy Star program and the DOE Zero Energy Ready Homes
We should
program.
explain the program a little bit, I guess.
So basically, the program's intent is to validate the energy efficiency improvements that are in the design. So as part of the program, we are required to review the plans to ensure that the program requirements are incorporated into the plans. And then once they go for construction, then the inspection team follows the building through construction. And then at the end, they actually test the building to verify that all those energy efficiency improvements and the wonderful work that the contractors have done validate and verify that they meet the program requirements. Specifically for Energy Star, we want to ensure that the insulation is installed to grade 1 levels. There's 3 different grades, grade 1 being the highest. So that means that the insulation is installed to near perfect installation, right? And then not only that, when we come to the end of the project, one of the things that we do is we do a blower door test, which is great because we take a door frame and we put a fabric on it, and we put a fan, and it's a very large fan, and we depressurize the space to 50 pascals, and then that allows us to see exactly how much infiltration is in the project. And the infiltration in this building was far below what we had actually modeled. So
Wow.
It was
It's a
very good job of designing and constructing the project.
And if I could just do a little plug for our residents at home.
Yes, absolutely.
If you go for an audit through the gas company or PSE&G, they will do that blow test is that what it's called? The blow test?
Blower door test, correct.
As one of the components of their audit so that they know how your house is working and
Absolutely,
the
yeah.
ventilation
I
in
know
it.
that the
So
clean
it's
energy
not just
program.
in big buildings,
Sure.
it's everywhere.
Absolutely. And the New Jersey Clean Energy Program has various different programs that are administered through the Clean Energy Program as well as through the various different utilities, PSE&G, JCP&L, and various different likes
And for
who
them,
offer
it's
those.
free.
Yes,
Unlike
absolutely.
for
They
here.
offer it. Yeah, absolutely. They offer
Right.
those for free. So yes, to the folks in the township, please take advantage of those
thank you.
those free
Those are important
opportunities. Yeah,
ones. Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely.
So I interrupt you. So after they did the blow test,
Yes. Not only that, we also test the ductwork as well to ensure that that is not leaking beyond the code requirement or beyond the program requirement. So there's a number of tests that we do as part of this process. The other thing that we test for, which is kind of interesting and unique, is that we want to make sure that there's not too much standing water, hot water in the piping. So when we design the building, we want to ensure that the hot water heater is as close to the plumbing fixtures as possible. You know how you sometimes have to stand for a long time for the shower to get warm?
Right.
Well, you're not only wasting you're wasting hot water, but then
right.
you're wasting the water down the drain as well. So when we designed the project, we took that into account as part of the program requirements. So essentially, the way we test that is we have to measure a half a gallon flow rate before you get a 10-degree temperature difference. So we measure that along with the final testing of the
that
project.
has to be remarkable when you talk about 75 showers and 75 bathrooms, plus
Absolutely.
all of the ones in the public place. That must be an incredible
Yes,
savings.
so that's
in
going to be
water.
a huge for the building's operation. I think it's going to be amazing to just have that reduced water volume. Yes.
Aside from the pleasure of wanting a hot shower, not having to wait
It's
for it.
almost instantaneously. You're ready to jump into the shower as soon as you're ready to go. Yeah, rather than having to wait a minute or 2 minutes for the water to arrive, you're getting that hot water almost instantaneously, which is amazing.
That's fantastic.
Yes, absolutely.
That's great. So,
All right.
wow. So we talked about Energy Star for the residents, and it saves money.
Yes.
We're saving money by doing these things, correct?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, this project for being Energy Star and DOE Zero Energy Ready Homes, we have an average of about 30% savings over traditional building, and it's even better than code compliant buildings as well. So I think that overall, the residents will see that savings in their utility costs month over month for the life of the building, right? Whoever lives here for the life of the building, they're going to see that energy savings, that cost savings year over year.
And is the township the builder? Are we getting any rebates or anything?
Yes. So not only does the township, when they operate this building, will see energy savings from all the energy efficiency improvements within the building itself and the common area meters, but the Housing Authority will receive an incentive check through the Clean Energy Program because we participated in that program, and they would provide a rebate per dwelling unit that meets those Energy Star requirements and the DOE Zero Energy Ready Homes program. Right now, the Housing Authority is on target to receive up to $50,000 in incentives
Wow.
from the Clean Energy Program.
That's
Yes.
great.
Yes. And it may be more, but I don't want to
That's
say
very
that.
nice,
Yeah.
because the Housing Authority, they don't have many sources of
Funding.
funding.
Sure.
They really don't.
Sure.
And and there's so much here extra that we
So-
have done for the seniors
Absolutely.
in the Housing Authority. So having them get that extra money, it's just terrific.
Absolutely. And the incentives really do offset some of the improvements that you've made specifically in this home, in this building, because you've made the improvements to the envelope. You've made improvements to the HVAC. You've made improvements to all these different features have an added cost, especially when you're going above and beyond code.
Right.
Right. So the incentives that are provided through the BPU, through the Clean Energy Program, help offset some of those extra costs that have been incurred by the project.
And I do want to give some kudos to the mayor.
Yes.
Because this was not cheap. And he has found ways to fund it. in the area millions and millions, because he is just so dedicated to having good senior living space.
Yeah, well,
And,
I can truly say that this is definitely forward thinking on the mayor's part and on the housing authority's part to have this unique collaboration. I think it's the only sort of collaboration that I've seen in the state where you're working with a private entity to develop affordable housing and not using public funding, which is amazing. It's pretty impressive.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
We
Very
get a
nice.
lot of pleasure out of it, and I'm sure when we see all the seniors moving in here, well, we saw at Red Oak, some of them were so happy they were literally crying.
Yes.
And I hope we see the same kind of thing. here.
Yeah. Again, I think the people are going to be impacted by the amazing spaces that we've created. The energy efficiency, ultimately, it's going to be an affordable place for them to live just because of how we've constructed these buildings. So it's kudos to the Housing Authority and the WIC developers for having that vision, right, to create a place that people could thrive.
And absolutely. And one last comment. As you can see how beautiful this kitchen is behind us.
Yes.
The colors of the floor and the cabinets and the counters were all picked out and approved by the director of the Housing Authority, Donna Brightman.
Oh, she did a great job.
So it was a true collaboration between the three agencies.
Yes, absolutely. And we were excited and honored to be part of the development team from the inception, really when that vision came alive from your team, all the way through the construction aspect of it. We're proud and happy to be part of this development
Thank
team.
you. We're glad you were too.
Thank you.
And we're looking forward to the next project.
Oh,
but
we too.
I can't
We
say
are
more
too.
about it yet.
We are too, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming.
I appreciate this.
Thank you for watching Greenable Woodbridge and being part of the excitement and part of the change.